My dear brother and sister, Assalamu Alaikum. If you feel lazy about going for prayer or doing any religious work, for example, if you feel lazy about offering far or tahajjud prayers, your eyes have opened, but you are overwhelmed with sleep, and you don't feel like leaving the bed, then, at that moment, consider this. What if, in the midst of this sleep, you receive a message that the head of state wants to bestow a great honor upon you, and that honor can only be received at that very moment? Tell me, would your sleep and laziness still remain? Clearly, that sleep and laziness would vanish. Why? Because you value that honor, which would make you willing to act against your desires, thinking, why should I stay in bed when such a great honor is at stake? If I miss this opportunity, I may never get it again. As a result, you would immediately leave your bed, abandoning sleep and comfort, and rush to seize that honor. So, if you can leave your sleep and comfort for the sake of receiving honor from a worldly king, why can't you leave it to please Allah, the most glorious and the supreme of all rulers? When, for one reason or another, you must leave your comfort and sleep, then why not leave them to earn the pleasure of Allah? The message of the prophets, peace be upon them, is exactly this. Train yourself to act against your desires in ways that please Allah. This is called Mujahada. Even the pains and sufferings that come upon you involuntarily may seem to bring no apparent benefit, but Allah has promised that those who strive in our cause, who act against their desires for our sake, will be guided by us on the right path. They will not walk that path alone, for those who tread this path are among the Muhsineen, the doers of good, and Allah becomes the companion of the Muhsineen. How Allah makes the task easier? How does Allah become their companion? By making the task easier for them. Initially, it may seem very difficult to go against one's desires, but when one sets out with trust in Allah to earn His pleasure, the path becomes easier. Allah makes it easy for them. For example, a person who is not accustomed to praying may find it burdensome. Praying 5 times a day might seem difficult at first, but if they persist and start praying despite their inner resistance, eventually they will get used to it. Once they become accustomed to it, they will find that praying is no longer a burden. In fact, such a person, if offered 1,000 rupees to skip a prayer, would refuse. Why? Because once a person becomes habitual in offering prayers, they would never agree to skip one, even for 1,000 rupees. What initially seemed difficult, Allah made easy for them in a short time. This is the case with the entire religion. If a person sits idle and only contemplates, everything may seem difficult. But when they start walking the path of faith, Allah makes it easy for them. For instance, imagine a long road that stretches straight ahead with rows of trees on both sides, on the right and the left. If someone stands on that road and looks ahead, it may appear as if the rows of trees converge at a distance and block the path. If a foolish person says, since the rows of trees ahead are meeting and blocking the road, there's no point in walking, such a person will never travel the path or reach the destination. Only the one who continues walking despite the appearance of a blocked road will eventually reach the goal. As they move forward, they will realize that the path wasn't really blocked, it was just an optical illusion. The farther they go, the more the road opens up. Similarly, those who walk the path of faith should not be discouraged by perceived difficulties from a distance. With trust in Allah, take the first step, and as you move forward, Allah will make the path easier for you. However, courage and determination will always be required, and one must resolve to act against their natural inclinations. This is what Mujahada is. True Mujahada. True Mujahada is when a person restrains themselves from unlawful and sinful actions, forcing themselves to abandon such behavior. However, our inner self has become so accustomed to pleasures, desires, and comfort that turning it towards the path of Allah and His commands isn't easy. It creates challenges. Therefore, to train the self and align it with Allah's commands, one must also refrain from some permissible and lawful actions. When a person restrains themselves from even lawful pleasures, they will gradually learn to give up desires, making it easier to avoid unlawful actions.